You will go down paths that you never even knew existed. Your life will intersect with people who will change your life. I'm telling you, following Jesus, really following Jesus, is anything but boring. I think of a few friends of mine right now who have decided to follow Jesus. I mean, really follow after Jesus, listen to God's Spirit, and try to live a better story. And they're stirring up some hope. They're creating a little positive pandemonium with their lives. I'm thinking about Thomas. Thomas is this brilliant 25-year-old guy. He went to Duke University, graduated with a degree in finance and computer science with a minor in Russian. I mean, who does that? He's a smart guy. And he landed a really nice corporate job as this young guy in Dallas. I mean, he really is a catch for some corporation, budding superstar kind of guy. Well, he began to attend this church in Dallas where he met this couple in the lobby one day, just struck up a conversation with them, and they were working in the Sudan. And they've been trying to figure out how to really help some poor people find a better life with some dignity, and began to ask him if he knew anything about microfinancing once they learned that he was a finance major. Well, to make a long story short, last year Thomas decided to follow Jesus' lead, and he quit his job and his ascent up the corporate ladder, and he now lives in the Sudan making loans to poor people and teaching them about Jesus. He lives in a war-torn country in a concrete room with no air conditioning, rides an old dirt bike everywhere he goes, already had 3 wrecks on it in a year, but he's never been more fully alive than he is right now in his life. He's just stirring stuff up. He's just filled with a sense of purpose and joy. And you could use a whole lot of words to describe Thomas's life right now. Boring's not one of them. I'm thinking about Marilyn, who for years has been following Jesus by taking in terminally ill foster kids. She loves them for as long as they have left so that they will walk into eternity knowing the one who made heaven possible for them. And there's a whole lot of words you could describe what she does. Expensive, exhausting, deeply satisfying, grace-filled, anything but boring. I love how the Message translation puts Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Many of you have used this in talks you've given. So here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing that you can do for him. Just says follow every day. Let him lead. You follow. Following Jesus is not always easy, but it's never complicated. You know, it's so exciting to see so many churches these days really following after Jesus and stirring up hope around the world, like many of your churches that you represent. I happen to be a part of a couple of churches that are just full of people trying to courageously follow Jesus. And I'm not bragging about them, and what's going on has very little, if anything, to do with my leadership. They're just the places that I know and call home. One of them, Southland Christian Church, has been causing pandemonium in the city of Lexington for over 50 years now. It was built on a foundation of truth and grace and love and other-centered living. And the people there, the ordinary people there in that church, are doing extraordinary things. Now there's all kinds of ministries to bring help and hope to their city and beyond. Clothing, food, furniture, mentoring for public school kids, addiction help, proms for special needs people, free medical clinics for uninsured people, a refuge for women wanting to get out of the adult entertainment industry, and on and on and on and on. They're just stirring up hope. And as a result of following Jesus, the people they serve want to know about him. I also have the privilege of serving Heartland Community Church in Rockford, Illinois. It's also a place that's full of ordinary people just committed to making some ripples with their life. It's a really unique place. I mean, it's a bunch of real and raw people. I'm talking about grateful for a second chance type of people, changed by grace type of people who are stirring up some hope in the city. They're causing some pandemonium in their community. See, Rockford's kind of a tough place. Annually, it makes the most miserable cities in which to live. Until recently, the employment rate has hovered right around 20%. Got the highest crime rate in the state of Illinois, racial unrest, and a severely, that's two kinds, severely struggling public school system. And we felt that Jesus was kind of saying, come on, follow me. Follow me into these schools. Stir up some hope. Bring some help. And that's what we've been trying to do. We just finished up a thing last week that we call ShareFest, where every summer for the past 4 years or 5 years, thousands of people have donated their vacation time and their cash to help refurbish and bring hope and dignity to some of these old schools and the kids that go there. Most of the schools that we've been refurbishing are where 92% of the kids live below the poverty level. Our mission is simply we're just love on the city until they ask why. And there's no mistake that Jesus is the reason we're doing it. And it has created some pandemonium in the city. I'm talking positive pandemonium. I'm talking about some ripples. When we were attempting to pack meals for the earthquake victims in Haiti, the public school system called us and asked if they could help us now. And all 5 public high schools dismissed students from classes so they could pack meals. They raised funds. Junior high students collected what they call quarters for the quake and brought them all to Heartland. And together we resourced and packed 1 million meals and sent them to Northwest Haiti Christian Mission. And no one in our city screamed separation of church and state. Just people together.